Greetings, greetings, greetings. It's Nina, the Biblical Naturopath. Thank you so much for joining me here. So glad that you have taken the time based on the title. I think that you're interested in what I have to say. Before I start, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate all of our subscribers. If this is your first time or if you've never subscribed, please know that subscribing to this channel is free. And when you subscribe and you click on that notifications button, when you click on all notifications for this channel, then every time I upload a video like I'm doing now, or anytime I'm live on this channel, hopefully you'll be notified. And if you have time and you're interested in the title and the subject, then you'll join me. The good thing about the lives is that you can go ahead, if you have a question or comment, you can just enter that information into the chat, and in real time I'm able to respond to you. With the videos that I upload, just go ahead and leave the same questions or comments or whatever you have in the comment section, and then when I read them, then I'm able to respond as appropriate. So by the title, you can tell that I'm going to be sharing with you for educational purposes only. I have to remind you of that. I want you to know that you want to do your own research. You want to also consult with your professional healthcare practitioner, your physician, your naturopath, your chiropractor, whoever you're using as your professional healthcare provider. Please consult with them before you add anything new or take anything away from what you're already doing. And especially if you're on medications, prescribed medications, if you're pregnant, if you're elderly, if you're thinking about children, all of those things have to be taken into consideration before we start using these herbs, even though most herbs, as we know, the majority of herbs, they're safe, but we have to be very wise about what we're doing. So I always want to start out with that, or at some point let you know that that's what I think that you should do, and I really encourage you to do that. Also, when you have a professional that you're working with, they're able to perform an assessment. After they perform that assessment, then they can review. After they review, they'll have a plan, and after they have that plan, then they'll help you with the implementation of whatever they have come up with as it relates to the plan that they have for you on your healing journey. So it's always good. Of course, do all of your homework, your due diligence, do all of that. And as I said, then if you have someone that you trust, someone that you feel really knows about you and is going to take the time to get to know you even better and help you with these decisions that you need to make, then please go ahead and do that. So as you can tell by the title, I just wanted to share just a few minutes, especially since we're in this time of the year. Maybe you've been hearing about many people, especially I'm hearing about young children. Young people are experiencing some respiratory challenges right now. Elderly, just people who maybe are not in the best of health already are really experiencing some respiratory challenges right now. And so we're always thinking about what we can do naturally. Remember, this is, I am the Biblical Naturopath, so we're thinking about what we can do naturally. What are some ancient remedies? What are some natural remedies? What are some things that we can use that God has created for us to help us to steward our health, to bring us back into balance, to bring us back into alignment, to get everything aligned holistically. Remember, holistic means whole, which means your spirit, your soul, and your body. You want those three to be in alignment. And so sometimes there's an imbalance that's going on. The body will do all that it can to keep balance. We know that to be homeostasis. So homeostasis is extremely important, and the body will do all that it can to keep us in balance. But we know that based on many of the lifestyle factors that many people experience, that sometimes there are going to be some imbalances. And as soon as you recognize that there's an imbalance that's going on, then of course you want to do all that you know to do so that you can help to bring that spirit, soul, and body back into alignment, back into agreement, back into balance, reach that homeostasis that much faster. And so from time to time, I share with you some information as it relates to herbs, herbal remedies, natural methods that you can use, just all kinds of things if you're familiar with this channel. If you're not, please, I'll take the time now, please go and review, look at the titles, look at what we've shared over the years as it relates to natural health, and I hope that we can be of more help to you. So we're going to just be talking very briefly. It's important that you understand that you need to research this for yourself, because not all pine is edible. You're going to make sure that that pine is organic, it's edible. Maybe you're going to use it as a loose tea. Maybe you're going to use it in tea bags. But by the title, this is about healing pine needle tea. Many of you may be familiar with it. It has different names. I'm just going to stick with healing pine needle tea. And I'm going to, again, emphasize the importance of understanding that this must be edible, organic, safe tea that you're going to be using. And one of the reasons that this pine needle tea is so beneficial as it relates to the respiratory system is because we know that we need a strong immune system. And one of the vitamins that we know that has really been studied to help us with the health of our immune system is vitamin C. And this pine needle tea has more vitamin C than lemons. And so any type of food or any type of herb that we can ingest that will help us to increase the vitamin C in our bodies, then of course we're going to be very interested in that. And so pine needle tea is rich in vitamin C, and it's a healing remedy, as I said, for the respiratory system, such as congestion and coughs. So as I was saying, many people are experiencing these types of symptoms, and so when you're thinking of some other things that you want to consider as it relates to increasing or strengthening your immune system, then pine needle tea might be one of those things. It's also very high in vitamins A, and so it's going to be very beneficial for helping us to, if there's any stagnation, perhaps, we want to think about, of course, if we're ingesting tea, if we're drinking tea, which is water, of course, then we know that as much hydration as we can get, we want to try to help to keep the fluids in our bodies flowing well, to keep our bodies nice and hydrated, and then we get the benefits of adding the herbs to the water, and then we're getting all of those nutritional benefits and all of those herbal properties that help us to really get to the place that we're trying to get to a whole lot faster. Now, I say a whole lot faster, but I do want to say this. Of course, we know that herbs and natural remedies, generally speaking, do not work as fast as perhaps maybe some of the over-the-counter prescription medications and the prescribed medications. We know that. But what I mean by a whole lot faster, just meaning that if you didn't do anything at all. We know that the herbs not only can sometimes prevent, but they can help to reverse or manage something that we might be a health challenge that we might be going through. So I just want to be sure that it's not going to necessarily work as fast as something that you might get over the counter or prescribed, but it's going to be more beneficial to our bodies. It's healthier for us, and it'll help those symptoms, us to manage those symptoms, and it's a lot better than not doing anything at all. And then in some cases, as long as there's not going to be that, as long as there's not going to be interference, if you're already on a medication, then you can also use herbs, natural remedies, etc., to just supplement what you might already be doing. Again, do your homework, please do your homework. But this can be very beneficial for your immune system. It can be very good also, even though I'm speaking about respiratory health, but it's very good for eye health. It can be good for our skin when we're thinking about pine needle tea. It does have some antibacterial and some antifungal properties. It's also anti-inflammatory, so that means it's going to be good for your joints as well. Anything that has that suffix of itis, we know speaks to inflammation. So if you're thinking about some other types of teas, herbs you can use, plants you can use, pine needle tea might be something that you include in that. It's also a mucus thinner, as I was speaking about those respiratory challenges, those respiratory issues. It's an expectorant, so of course, as I said many times, there's some coughing that might be going on, so it's going to be good for that. And when you're thinking about, now I just want to think about essential oils. When you're thinking about essential oils, so if you're using an herb and you're using it as an essential oil, then you want to think about how fast. I was just talking about sometimes some things work a lot faster than other things. But when you're thinking about topically applying an essential oil, generally an essential oil will enter the bloodstream in about 2 to 3 minutes. So when you apply an essential oil, and of course we always want to make sure that there's a carrier oil that we're using with our essential oils. And so when you apply an essential oil topically to the skin, when I'm speaking topically, to the skin, it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes for it to reach our bloodstream. It takes around 20 minutes for the oil to affect almost every cell in our bodies. So then we're thinking 2 to 3 minutes to get into the bloodstream. And then we know that it takes around a minute or so, approximately a minute or less, time for the blood, our blood, to circulate throughout our bodies. So if it's taking 2 to 3 minutes for the essential oil to reach our bloodstream, then it's going to take about another 20 minutes for that oil, that essential oil, the properties of that, those beneficial properties of that essential oil to go ahead and affect almost every cell in our bodies. It's going to take approximately 2 to 2.5 hours for the essential oils to be metabolized by the body. These things are important. I'm not going to get into this now. I've shared information about this in the past, but this would help when you're thinking about dosage as well as how often you need to be using your essential oil. So please always do your own homework and go back to some of our videos on this channel as well. And again, go to your trusted healthcare practitioners and find out how often. And it's going to be based on body weight. It's based on age. It's based on health conditions. There's so many factors that have to be considered so that we're doing these things safely. Not only safely, but we want to get the benefit. You don't want to go through all of what you go through and then you not get the benefit. So it's good to know as much as you can know about how you are uniquely made. So you need to know about your own constitution. You need to know about your strengths and your weaknesses, and sometimes it helps to know about your genetics and all of those things. So you want to know what works for you and then your family, of course, but what works for you. And then once you have all of that information, that helps. And I'll give you an example of that. So just let's think about how much water do you need. Well, generally, if you use the equation that most of us do, and I use the same equation, you generally take a person's weight, you divide it by 2, and whatever that number is, that's approximately the number of ounces of water that person should be drinking per day. So again, we use an equation for that. So the same with essential oils. We want to think about that for dosage purposes, etc., and health conditions, etc. Same thing with water. If someone has kidney challenges, then that equation needs to be adjusted. So we're always thinking about that. What is the condition of the person, etc., etc. And then we make the adjustments so that we are safe, and more safe. Okay, so I spoke about that. I said 2 to 2.5 hours for the essential oils to be metabolized by the body. And then it's where do you apply these if you're applying some essential oils. I know I'm talking about tea. I was speaking about tea starting out, and but I also don't want us to be limited. And so you might want to incorporate other ways of getting the nutritional and healing benefits from the herbs and the plants that you're using. And so I wanted to share, just take a few minutes to share as well. If you're going to, you might not want to drink it as a tea. Maybe you just prefer to apply essential oils many times topically to your skin. It's whatever works best for you. Many people, take capsules, different ways that we can get herbs into our bodies. Of course, they're culinary herbs, and so we cook with some herbs, etc. So just it's such a wide field, and so just if you're really led in this area, just study. As the biblical naturopath, of course, I always say go to the Bible as well. There's so much that I have learned myself from what God has revealed to us in His Word as it relates to herbs and how herbs were used. And so it's just as I said, it's just a tremendous I would say study of if you're led in that direction, and I hope that you are. And then you can not only get the education and the knowledge for yourself, but you can share it with others, especially based on the times that we're in, and there's a lot of uncertainty. So it's good to know that you have some education, some information, and some revelation about some things, so that when things around you start happening, you feel confident that you're going to be okay, that you can feel that everything's going to be okay, that if you can't get to some of the things that maybe you've been used to getting from outside sources, that you have your own home apothecary, you have your own home medicine chest, you have your own knowledge of natural remedies and ancient remedies and herbal remedies and all of these methodologies that are natural. You have that, and so when you have that, you do have a little bit more confidence when things are going on, and you're not always sure you can get what you had been used to getting. So I know you know what I'm speaking about. So so again, if you know, where do you apply? We know many times if you're applying these oils to your skin, many times the radial artery is where you might apply. So you're thinking about, you know, inside the wrist, you can apply the essential oils. Then they can absorb into your bloodstream faster at that area if you're applying to your wrist. Other areas would be the soles of your feet, the back of your neck, behind your ears is a good place. Behind your knees is another place. The back of the neck is close to the arterial flow of the brain. So the essential oils are absorbed by the blood vessels faster when you do that. And you of course know that this is going to improve your circulation. And we know that we need to make sure that our circulation is optimal. And if you're not real sure about that, sometimes you might feel like your circulation has slowed down a bit. Again, not medical advice, or never here to diagnose anything. But sometimes if you've been sitting for a while, let's say you've just been sitting for a while, and just go ahead, you can tap your feet a bit. You can just tap your feet, tap your feet, tap your feet. Give a little bit of intensity to that tapping. That sometimes, I'm doing that now as I'm speaking, and that sometimes can help with circulation. Get up, walk around a little bit, move a little bit, stretch a little bit. Just help the body's fluids to flow as they should be flowing. So just wanted to share a little bit about this healing pine needle tea, and a little bit about essential oil application, and just hope that as you're going through what you're going through, that you are as healthy as you can be, that you receive the healing that you have in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. If you have any questions, go ahead, leave them in the comments section. Reach out to me. My email address is there. There's other information that's there. Also, there's some links to my other channels. This is not my only channel on YouTube. If you're interested in more church-based healing and health and messages, then there's a channel for that. If you're 60 and beyond, there's a channel for that. And then there's this channel, the Biblical Naturopath. So I am just, once again, so thankful that you joined me here. Hope that I've been helpful. And until we meet again, until I'm here again, to your health, God bless you, and God bless you.